Thank you so much for joining me today on Bounce Back with Joshua. I've really been thinking about the most effective and efficient way for me to get across information regarding stroke prevention and stroke recovery. And I've come to the conclusion that the best story, no matter the stats or the information, the best analogy, story, information that I can provide is my story. So I just wanted to come on here and share with you a little bit about how the stroke effects may have been reduced during my lifetime had I understood the value and understood the actual risks of stroke that I had in my lifetime. So one of the top 5 stroke risks includes diabetes. And fortunately, I am not diabetic. Diabetes does run in my family, and I have been diagnosed as being pre-diabetic, but understanding your A1C and how that can affect your chances of having a stroke is not only crucial to your own personal health, but it can also reduce many other health factors that can occur once you are truly in a diabetic state. Another risk factor regarding stroke is smoking. So fortunately for me, I have never smoked. It's not something I've ever been interested in. People around me have had that habit, and I do know that, smoking has a lot of negative effects to it. There are no healthy reasons for us to smoke. And so other than just, craving that nicotine, I understand that there is no reason for us to be smoking, but that also is a risk in regards to having a stroke. The third risk factor that I'd like to discuss with you today is blood pressure. So blood pressure does have an effect in terms of having a stroke, having heart problems, heart attack. It has a whole slew of different factors. And for me, my blood pressure has always been high. It was something that was brought to my attention when I was in my early 20s, but at the time it was waved off by my doctors and physicians. They simply stated that I was too young and it was something that I need to keep in check, but they didn't really provide to me any real answers as far as the ways that I could reduce my blood pressure naturally. And so now I am on blood pressure medication. After the stroke, my blood pressure medication was increased, and I'm at a stage where I'm actually reducing my blood pressure meds, not only by half, but half of half. So I'm thankful for that. And it is something that I'm always cautious about whenever I'm ingesting food, and ensuring that my sodium levels are low so that I can then tackle the issues with blood pressure with exercise as well as healthy diet. High cholesterol is the next risk factor in terms of having a stroke that I like to discuss with you. So high cholesterol, if diagnosed with high cholesterol, can reduce the blood flow, restrict the blood flow in your veins, which will then potentially cause either a heart attack and or a stroke. I know in terms of high cholesterol, you've got your HDL and your LDL. Your HDL is your good cholesterol, and then your LDL is your bad cholesterol. Thankfully for me, I've never had an issue with the LDL cholesterol, and that is something that I'm always checking, and another reason that it's good for us to do our yearly checkups to ensure that our blood is working to our benefit. The last and final stroke risk factor that I want to bring up is being overweight or obesity. So that is something I've struggled with, not so much when I was younger, but it is something that since I want to say a little bit after college that began to increase. In my early 20s, I happened to herniate my lower back, and ever since then, it's just been a process of gaining weight and trying to reduce the pain level. It's something that I've dealt with for many, many years because I was only told that there was a single solution in order to fix the back. Thankfully, it took me about 18 years or so to find an alternative solution that worked. But because I have that alternative solution available, that has been one of the ways that I've been trying to reduce my chances of having a second stroke, and that is to reduce my obesity activity levels. So high levels of activity, as well as mixed in with good diet and water consumption. These are all ways that you can help yourself in reducing your chances of a stroke occurring. Thank you so much for joining me today on Bounce Back with Joshua. Take care.